Okay, so I don't know what just happened, but it
Oh
said,
no, it says live.
oh, maybe we're live now.
I think it's working now.
Yay! Professor, you have no idea how much hard work Maria and I put into trying to make this Google live recording. Yay! All right, well, I guess we can start our discussion. Now let me find
Perfect.
the. All right, so this is Tiwana Perry and my new group BFF.
Yes. And my name's Maria Wykes.
Awesome. And I believe we're group one. I think that's what I saw online, but we are,
Yeah, that's the only one that's like.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's the only one that's like doesn't have a name or anything with it yet. So I
No, we need to
assume
come up
so.
with a snazzy name before we post this online.
Oh yeah.
But we'll think of one. But I guess, we just got together, a little bit into the semester, and we're starting our first group video with Module
Mhm.
5. So let's hit it. Let's hit it, Miss Wykes. So the first
Okay.
question is, how does watching TV on the smartphone or tablet transform the experience? What's your take on that?
Well, I guess I would say that if I'm watching a TV show on my phone, it's typically because I'm doing something else at the same time, like I'm eating, and so I just put some like earbuds in my phone. I'm watching on there, or I'm working out. That's another big one. So
Mhm.
it's always when I'm doing something else. So I guess you could say that that changes the experience because I'm not. I mean, I am focused on it because, like, when I'm eating, I'm not really, there's not much to it. I'm
Right.
focused on watching the show or when working out or whatever. But I guess it changes the mood or tone because if it's like late at night and you're just sitting like alone and watching it, you might take like a whole different emotional sense. Whereas if you're physically doing something, you're not as connected to it. So you're more of a bystander or, yeah, if that makes sense.
No,
Um,
I totally get what you're saying. And you're good because you work out. I need to do that more often. But the funny thing for me is, number one, I need to get a tablet. But I watch so much television on my smartphone. And it's crazy because I just recently got a 6S Plus, and I've always been a Galaxy person. But
mhm.
I literally at work listen to the TV, or I watch Netflix or Hulu. And when I'm doing, and even when I go out to restaurants, because I'm single and I don't have kids, so I eat out a lot, I will
Uh-huh.
go to a restaurant with my laptop or with my smartphone and literally sit there while I'm eating and watch TV on my phone.
Yeah.
Um, it's unbelievable the way that you have just the accessibility of it, the fact that you can do it anywhere, you can do it at any time, and it to me it really transforms my experience because I'm a binge watcher. So
Same.
oh my gosh, I love for a TV series or a show to come to an ending. I don't want to watch the first episode and then wait a week. I'd rather wait till the entire season is online on Hulu or Netflix and just
Yep.
watch the whole thing in like a day or two. So what transforms my experience on a smartphone is just being able to have that instant gratification where even when I'm in bed, if I don't want to get up and cut the TV off, I'll just watch something on my phone and cut it off and sit on a nightstand.
Yep.
So I'm completely spoiled by this easy access to the technology that we have on streaming video and TV.
Definitely. And that kind of
It's
streamlines into the second question saying, how does watching television on the go alter both your viewing habits and your engagement with public spaces?
Look at that. We already hit it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm the worst. Oh, Marie, I'm the worst. It's so bad that when I go to my favorite Thai restaurant that's
Hmm.
nearby here in Arlington, like I'll go there and like all the waiters and waitresses are like, you want the table next to the plug, right? Because they know I want to like plug in my laptop or be able to plug in my phone while I'm watching a TV show. Like I'm that obsessively, maybe a little too much connected to watching and streaming TV from my phone.
Right. But I mean, I think it's easy to do because it's one of those things that so much technology is just available to us now that it's hard not to take advantage of it when you have it, unless you like make a point
Absolutely.
not to.
Absolutely.
And I think what it's saying to like engagement with public spaces is I've tried to make a habit I just notice things because part of my position, my job is like a front desk. So I see everyone it's glass
Right.
windows and doors. So I see everyone coming in. And it's just funny how you see people walking and like a lot of people that are maybe like, if you want to just say 50 and under, like just taking the bottom half, they're always like looking at their phone as they're coming in or focus on something. Whereas the older people that come in are just walking. And so sometimes I'll like make a point that when I'm doing different things to just like not, because like we incessantly pull out phone, but half the time it's for no reason. Like it's not
Absolutely.
because anyone's texting us or because like
No.
we're watching a show,
You're
um
so right. Sometimes we just pick it up like, did somebody text me? You know the phone didn't ding. Nobody texted you.
right. And so I think it kind of flows into that concept of like if you're sitting in a public space and the first thing you do is earbuds in, let me watch my show versus, I don't know, talk to someone, like put yourself in a different position, because that's where we're all so comfortable that it's becoming uncomfortable to do what's normal, I guess, if that makes sense.
No, it does. I agree. It really boggles my mind how much even I pick up my phone in a given day, for any given reason. So the fact that we have gotten to a point in technology where we can literally, I mean, we were discussing this offline that I cut off my cable because I don't watch cable because everything I do is streaming. So I literally just stream, like Hulu and Netflix. And right before I called you, I was watching The Walking Dead on Netflix, like right now. So being able to
Uh-huh.
have your phone and know that anywhere that you are and no matter what you're doing, you can just like catch your TV shows. And it boggles my mind that we can actually have the access to do things like this in this day and age.
Oh, definitely. And the fact that what it's saying too with like engagement in public space is another good example I thought of is like lunch break. At work, all of my phone on me. All I have to do is
Yes.
pick up my earbuds, and we all might be sitting at a table in the break room, and I'll have my food. But it's like, no, I just want to plug this in and like watch this and not be here for like 20 minutes, versus I guess the opposite of public spaces and engagement of talking to your coworkers or,
Right.
engaging with them. But because of the easy accessibility of what being able to watch your shows wherever, it's like, why would I make small talk with someone I don't really want to talk to on my break when I can
And I
watch
can,
this show that I've been thinking of,
it's funny too because I have as you see, I eat out a lot, but I have a favorite Irish pub nearby that I go to because they have the most amazing wings. And one day I went there, and all I could think of was I was driving home, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get there because I want to see the next episode of Orphan Black." Like I'm totally obsessed with that show. It was on my top 10 list that I sent to the professor. I love this
Uh-huh.
show. I get to the bar, and I have the same, really sweet waitresses that take care of me. And I get to the bar, and she comes over to take my order, and I'm like honed into my phone, like what's gonna happen next with my earbuds. And so she goes, "What show is that?" And I said, "It's a show on actually it was Amazon Prime I was watching it on. So it's a show called Orphan Black. I'm not even gonna tell you anything about it. It's one of the most amazing shows you'll ever see. Have you ever seen it, Maria?"
I haven't.
You've got to put this on your list of shows to see. It's a fantastic TV show. And I'm watching this show, and she's like, "What is it?" And I explained to her what it's about. And I said, "Look, I don't want to tell you too much, but it's a great show." Fast forward, no lie, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I come to the bar to get my wings, and she comes over. She was like, "I'm completely obsessed with your show. I have everybody watching it." And she goes to George Washington University or something. She's like, "I have everybody watching it. It's crazy. It's so good. You're so right." She was like, "I'm on season 2." This was like 3 weeks later.
Oh my
So just to
gosh.
show you how your viewing habits in public spaces actually influence other people. When I went back a couple weeks after that, one of the other waitresses, she goes, "I want you to meet somebody." One of the other waitresses comes over, and she says, "This is the girl that told me about Orphan Black." And the other waitress was like, "I love that show." It's crazy. The influence that just watching your phone in public places, that's even an example of how it changes
Yeah,
your engagement with people. It's unreal. So now I have a whole Orphan Black fan club at this Irish pub.
that's
Who knew?
awesome though. And that is a good point because like people that may never have been using Amazon Prime as a source of, watching shows or things like that might say, hey, I mean, I buy a couple of things off Amazon and I really want to watch the show now because of you transforming that experience of watching it in a public space. So that goes hand in hand
Amazon owes
too.
me some money. They owe me some finder's fee for getting people to become Prime members so that they can watch Orphan Black.
Really, though.
No, but it's a great show. You should catch it. I think we have one more question left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why are certain forms of television acceptable for public viewing, such as sports and news, while others require the creation of public spaces in public to be viewed, like sitcoms and dramas? Good question. Why is it acceptable for I'll say maybe because with public viewing, which is like sports and news, it's kind of for. Is it
It's like sound bites.
Maybe it's not. Like a sitcom or a drama can have a specific point of view. It can have a point of view of religion. It can have a point of view of gay relations, race relations, all these different things. But sports are just sports. Everything is pretty even.
Right.
Here, the news is supposedly just reporting on the facts, so it's not as if they have their, especially newscasters are technically not supposed to have their own opinion about something. They're just supposed to relay information.
Right.
Maybe that could be a reason why it's acceptable for those types of things to be public viewed, whereas other TV shows have to be set up in private spaces.
No, that makes sense. And I think another good point too is saying how like B-dubs, sports is always on, kind of thing. And I can be sitting there with my friends and have a conversation and I can look up for like 5 seconds. And in those 5 seconds, I can know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I can know, oh, that's the score of the game that, Atlanta's playing Denver, whatever, this is who and who, and kind of connect it. Or with news, there's always like banners at the bottom saying, this is what's happening in Al-Qaeda, or this is the presidential election polls, whatever. Right. It's all right there. Whereas you wouldn't watch like a drama, like it's saying, or a sitcom in public, because also the likeliness of you sitting down and watching that whole thing in a public space is very unlikely. So it wouldn't make sense. It's kind of like if you're at Walmart and you're walking by the TV section and it's in the middle of a movie, you're not going to stand there and watch the whole movie. Like you don't know what's going on. You don't know what it is. But like if sports or news are on, you can look at it, immediately know what's going on, come back 20 minutes later and immediately know again. Whereas with like an actual show, you'd miss all this information. You don't know who the characters are. So there's really no point in watching it unless you're watching it privately.
That's an interesting point. Another thing I think about when I'm also thinking of public spaces is, I'm careful when I'm watching certain things of who's around me. So yeah. There are times that, like, even if, I know this is a television course, but, I'm also taking a international film history course at the same time this semester. And there are lots of movies that I have to watch. So sometimes if I'm in a public space and I'm watching something specific, I want to be mindful if it has any kind of, strong activity, any kind of, even if it's just violence. Mm-hmm. I have to be careful. Are there any kids around, or are there any adults who may get offended? So I guess we have to kind of things like that too when we're watching TV shows and film and things like that publicly. You have to be very careful and very sensitive to that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of like how at the gym, like the only thing they put on the TV screens is sports or news, because that's like
they put on okay, I've been to the gym maybe once or twice. They put on House Hunters.
Yeah.
You're
but
right.
Even then, that's something.
Sports or news or something very even cute that anybody could watch. Like nobody naked is going to run across House Hunters. So yeah.
Right. And it just makes sense because that's what's most appropriate. Like you're not going to offend kids. You're not going to offend older people. You're not going to offend middle, like anyone you're not going to offend with those kinds of things. And that's just what's kind of appropriate for a public space because you don't
Agreed.
know what the audience is or what the perspective is. And a lot of times, if it is a drama or, well, I guess not as much as sitcom would do this, but if it is a drama that's making a strong point about something,
Right.
it might be a really great perspective that if you sat down and watch it, you'd understand. But if you just see part of it, you know, freak out like this is so offensive or what is it, you know, kind of thing, because you can't
Right.
like really sit down and give it the time of day. So it also might be an appreciation value. If you watch, it's kind of like when me and my friends, there was like One Tree Hill. We were all into that, you know, like, oh, it's such a, you know, such a good drama kind of thing. And the boys sat down and watched it for like 5 minutes. And they're like, this is stupid. I don't like this, you know, kind of thing. Like, I don't get it. I'm like, you, and everyone said you can't, because it was actually their sisters that's were like, you can't just watch it for 5 minutes and act like you know the show. You know, there's so much
You gotta get
storyline and
into
all
it. You
this
gotta watch
stuff.
enough episodes.
Right. So it's probably also the fact that like showing certain shows in public, people might get a bad taste in their mouth about a show that like, no, I don't want to watch this. But if they were sitting down and actually watched it all the way through, they'd have a totally different appreciation of it, you know?
Agree. Yeah, that's a good point. That's kind of funny. You know, guys, they have the attention span of chicken McNuggets, so they're not gonna watch anything. If something doesn't catch them in like the first 5 minutes, they're gone. They're like babies. So funny. Sorry, Professor. Oh, this is good. I think we answered all the questions that were required, and so we get to post our first video online. I'm very excited.
Yay.
And what I'll do is I'll connect with you so that we can make sure that the other answers that we have to put into our blog are together. And I'll send those through to you tomorrow, and we'll just load them up because I think it's due by midnight on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I love it. You good?
Perfect.
After 75
Yes, I'm
hours,
good. Thank
we
you.
made this work. Nice first
Praise.
video. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording, and I'll load it up and send you the link.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Bye.
I'll talk to you later, okay, babe?
Sounds good.
All right, bye.
See ya.